If there's one thing that has been constant through the Sioux Falls Sunfish season, it's that this team likes to have fun. Walker Bullington said yesterday was the most summer collegiate baseball day that he's ever experienced, with pregame and postgame interviews featuring a Jurassic Park ride at a pizza ranch, talking with Chinese pitcher Tom Sun after the game in his native language, while also getting a bucket of ice water poured on him afterwards. He was learning Chinese in the dugout. We got locked out of the bus yesterday, and well, now we're back in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and our own Tanner Wilson sang the national anthem here at Karras Park. The Sunfish like to have fun, and that's why they're on a 2-game winning streak and just a game behind the now visiting Fremont Moo. Hello, fans. It's David Coyer bringing you all the action tonight on the Sioux Falls Sunfish Radio Network and the Sunfish live stream on YouTube. After losing 2 here at Karras earlier this week, marking 3 in a row for the Sunfish, they go back and win 2 against the Hastings Sodbusters and have kept it within 1 of the Fremont Moo in the Clark Division standings. The Moo, currently on a 5-game winning streak, are now 11-3 in the second half of the division after sweeping the Casper Horseheads from Wyoming. The Moo now 31-14 on the season. The Sunfish 24-21 in game 46 for both of them here at Karras Park in game 1 of 3 of this weekend series. Tyler Push, Austin Baskin, E.J. Taylor, the first 3 to come to the plate in this top of the first inning from Karras Park. Luke White, Jack Simonson, Darian Morphew, Trey Nichols, Peyton Leeper, and Dylan Sears, the rest of the lineup. Once again, Push, Baskin, Taylor, White, Simonson, Morphew, Nichols, Leeper, Sears. Andrew Garcia, the all-star pitcher for the Sunfish, back on the mound. He winds and delivers a fastball up and in for ball 1, 6:37. The first pitch of this game 1 of a 3-game series before the all-star break on Monday. Andrew Garcia pitched last Friday in a winning effort against the Moo. Throws another fastball in. It jams Tyler Push, and it'll roll into right field for a base hit to lead off this game. The Sunfish haven't seen Push since that opening series in Fremont, where Push would go and steal 5 bases in a span of 2 games. He had a season-high 4 on opening night against the Sunfish, and he's on. It was the first 2 at-bats that he would get on and then steal bases consecutively. That's how he got 4. He would steal second, and on the next pitch, steal third. The first pitch from Andrew Garcia to Austin Baskin drills him in the back, and the first 2 are aboard in this top of the first inning. It'll now be the all-star first baseman E.J. Taylor up for the Fremont Moo. Andrew Garcia on the season, 5-1. His only loss coming on May 26th against the Moo, his first outing of the season. Otherwise, out of his next 7 appearances, he had 2 no decisions, 1 coming in relief. Otherwise, he's gotten the win every single time. 2.47 ERA, the lowest by a Sunfish starter. There's 2 runners on with no outs here in the top of the first. First pitch to E.J. Taylor is grounded over to Norris McClure at third. He throws it over to second. The relay to first is in time. Hoffbauer will throw it back over to third. Benito Garcia not able to get the tag. So just a 5-4-3 double play to get E.J. Taylor and Austin Baskin. Tyler Push, who took off, obviously, since there was a runner behind him. Norris McClure was kind of chasing him down, looking for the tag. Instead, he ended up just getting the double play still. So Push is now on third. Luke White is now up. Garcia, 40 innings pitched, 43 strikeouts, 26 walks, has only allowed 28 hits. 29 now is a fastball, 90 miles an hour up and in, is called ball 1. Garcia with a stat line like that, you can tell why he was selected as the only pitcher for the Sunfish represented in the All-Star game this year. The 1-0 is a slider that almost hits White. It's 2 balls and no strikes to the righty from Lewis Clark State. .299 batting average on the season, 3 home runs and a double, 15 strikeouts, 12 walks, good for a .411 on base percentage. The 2-0 is grounded over to JT Mix. He'll backhand it, sliding, throw it over to first, and it'll be in time for out number 3. A nice backhanded sliding grab by JT Mix. to close out this inning. No runs off of a lone hit, no errors, one left on base. And Garcia, after allowing the first two on, well, he made quick work after that. The Moo remains scoreless, and we'll see how the Sunfish respond in the bottom half of the first inning from Karras Park. It only took 7 pitches to get out of that inning for Andrew Garcia after allowing a leadoff single and a hit batter. A double play and then a ground out by Luke White would get the Sunfish out of the jam. JT Mix leading this one off. Expect the first pitch swing from the hand of Dawson Linder. He throws one inside. Well, a fastball will brush back Mix, so that's not one to swing at. Mix is ahead 1-0. Jonathan Brandon, Norris McClure, the 2 and 3 hitters. Batting cleanup is Will Olson. Zeph Hoffpower, Gannon Thompson, Dane Frazier, the 5, 6, 7. Dylan Cricket Danielson, Benito Garcia, the 8 and 9, as Mix will foul off a changeup. 1 ball, 1 strike now to JT Mix. Once again, Mix, Brandon McClure, Olson, Hoffpower, Thompson, Frazier, Cricket Danielson, Garcia. Dawson Linder on the mound for the Fremont Moo. This is the first time the Sunfish have seen him this year. A fastball fouled off the end of the bat by Mix. Kind of rolls his head knowing he just missed that one. He's now behind 1-2. 30 2/3 innings pitched for Linder from Lincoln, Nebraska. 6'4" righty. 3-0 on the season, 2.93 ERA in his 6th start. Drops in a curveball, gets Mix looking. First strikeout number 1. 76 on the radar. A nice bender there by Linder just froze JT, who will slowly walk back to the Sunfish dugout. Jonathan Brandon now up. He's designated hitting tonight. 7 games, 5 starts for Linder. 37 strikeouts, 17 walks, 23 hits. Went 4 innings on July 8th against the Sodbusters. Allowed 4 runs off 6 hits, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. Jonathan Brandon had a home run yesterday against the Sodbusters. He chops the first ball he sees to Peyton Leeper at third for out number 2. First pitch he sees is a ground out, but Jonathan Brandon was one of 4 Sunfish to hit a home run yesterday against Hastings. There were none hit on Wednesday because, well, Duncan Field is not a home run park, but yesterday the one at Reynolds Park was a bit shallower, and the Sunfish took advantage of it. Norris McClure takes a fastball high and away for ball 1. McClure, .310 average on the season, went 1 for 5 on Tuesday in the 11-10 loss against the Moo. Swings at one, but fouls hit out of play over the football complex to our left. 2 home runs, 15 RBIs, 14 walks, 18 strikeouts. McClure has struggled the most against any team this season. It's been the Moo. Chases a ball up and away and fouls it in and out of the glove of Trey Nichols behind the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Darian Morphew, who has played in the past now 6 games against the Sunfish, is out in left. Tyler Push, making his first appearance since May 26 against Sioux Falls, is in center. Jack Simonson in right. A curveball misses low and away. Taken for ball 2. It's 2-2 now. Peyton Leeper and Austin Baskin on the left side of the infield at third and short, respectively. The Western Illinois Fighting Leatherneck Dylan Sears is at second with the all-star first baseman E.J. Taylor right where he belongs. Trey Nichols is catching. McClure fouls one off, stays alive at 2-2.
That foul ball is presented to you by Keg Chicken. Order it, eat it, crave it.
Norris McClure was one of 5 position players to pitch yesterday in the win against Hastings. All 5 of them who pitched are in the lineup today. A curveball misses low and away again. It's 3-2. Nick Cavilla was the only PO, or pitcher only, that actually pitched in yesterday's game. Dane Frazier started it. JT Mix got 2 innings out of him as well. Fastball misses away, and McClure will draw the 2-out walk. McClure pitched an inning yesterday. His second appearance on the season. Walked 1 before striking out another and went, 4 up, 3 down. It'll be Will Olson, the Augustana catcher. 354 on the season. 6 home runs, including 1 yesterday. It was Olson, Jonathan Brandon, Carter Tibbetts, and Mitch Stone, who all homered in yesterday's 11-4 victory. Slider misses away. It's 1-0. Olson, one of the other all-stars for the Sunfish. Himself, Adonis Forte, and Andrew Garcia, the 3 who are headed to Casper on Monday. Fastball rides in. It's 2-0. 2 for 4 yesterday with a double and a home run. 4 RBIs for Olson. 490 on-base percentage, 709 slugging. It's good for a 1.199 on-base plus slugging. There goes McClure. Fastball right down the middle. The throw from Nichols is high, and Dylan Sears still drifted to his left. Didn't even have an opportunity to make a tag. Norris McClure steals the first base of the day. And Olson is still ahead 2-1. It's when the Sunfish have their opportunities to be aggressive on the base pass that they're successful. Olson takes a slider low. It's 3-1. That stolen base marks stolen base number 164 for the Sunfish. They lead the Expedition League, closely trailed by the Sewers Valley Sabre Dogs. Here's the 3-1 to Olson. He fouls that one off the end of the bat over the right netting, out of play. That foul ball is the first, presented by Keg Chicken. Order it, eat it, crave it. Keg Chicken. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, runner on second. In the bottom of the first inning, we're still scoreless between the Sunfish and the Moo. Dawson Linder checks back at second, kicks and delivers a fastball that's taken high to left field, but there's enough room for Morphew. Makes his way to his right, makes the catch for out number 3. Olson just missed that one. All the home runs he's hit here at Karras Park have been to left field. He likes to pull the ball a lot. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left on, and we're scoreless after 1 from Karras Park between the Sioux Falls Sunfish and the Fremont Moo. There's a lot of Fremont Moo fans in the crowd today. Many of them are here for, well, the hometown boy, Jack Simonson. He calls Sioux Falls, South Dakota home. But during the summer, he's been spending his time down in Fremont, Nebraska. Simonson takes a slider just above the chest down the middle of the plate, though. It's 1-0. The Sioux Falls native goes to North Dakota State University and is batting .316 on the season. Swings through an 88-mile-an-hour fastball for strike one. Has 1 home run, 8 doubles, 17 RBIs, 21 walks, 14 strikeouts. Could be 2 home runs, but it was on Monday when Dylan Cricket Danielson in his first game back would rob a home run on the left field wall. A slider is poked into right field, and it'll be Dylan Cricket Danielson on the run making the catch. Simonson seems like his bat has a magnet on it, then when put on the ball, just goes straight into the glove of Dylan Cricket Danielson. Cricket Danielson out in right field tonight for the first time this season. Usually when he's in the outfield, he's over at left. He'll have the lefty Darian Morphew, who led off in every game against the Sunfish in the 3-game weekend series and the 2 games at the beginning of the week this week. He's now batting in the 6th spot as he takes a fastball low for ball 1. He's batting .320 with 7 doubles and a triple. Takes a 90-mile-an-hour fastball on the outside corner for strike 1. 32 walks, 44 strikeouts, 26 RBIs. Went 0 for 2 Wednesday against the Casper Horseheads. A curveball is called strike 2 at the knees. It's 1-2. 3 walks in Wednesday's 10-1 win over the Casper Horseheads from Moeller Field. The 1-2 is a fastball low and away, evening the count back up at 2. Cool thing about Morphew is he goes to Brown University, the Ivy League school. Here's the 2-2. He pops this one up slowly, but it'll land on top of the Moo dugout and bounce outside of Karras Park. It'll remain a 2-2 count on the curveball. On Tuesday against the Sunfish, Morphew went 2 for 5 with an RBI and a run. Breaking ball runs high and away to the lefty Morphew. He's battled back to a full count. The Sunfish were ahead 4-0 until that dreaded 7th inning on Tuesday against the Moo. Ground ball, left side. Garcia plays it off the hop, fires it over to Hoffbauer, who's pulled off the base. The throw was high and a bit to Hoffbauer's right. He had to stretch for it, couldn't keep the toe on, and Morphew was able to run that one out. So that'll bring up Trey Nichols. It was a tough play to Garcia, who was deep in the hole at shortstop. And we'll see if they'll give that an E6 or an infield hit. It'll be an E6. Fastball is fouled off by the righty Trey Nichols. He's catching today. He caught in Monday's game as well, and it was Monday where the Moo were able to pull out a 1-0 victory, shut out the Sunfish for the first time this season. Curveball drops in for strike 1 at the knees on the inside corner. It's no balls and 2 strikes to Nichols, who's batting .160 on the season. He's the one who's been struggling the most out of this Moo lineup. They're collectively batting .318 on the season, the Moo are, on a throw over to first, no tag. So the best hitting team, average-wise, in the Expedition League, fastball high, it's 1-2. But Nichols batting .160 through 7 games, so give him a little bit of credit there. 4 for 25 with a double and 2 home runs. His slugging's at .440 with that. Has walked 4 times, struck out 8, went 1 for 2 yesterday against the Horseheads. A late swipe by Zeph Hoffbauer, who was off the base on the throw over by Andrew Garcia, but it didn't seem like Morphew was really paying too much attention there. 1 home run yesterday, though, for Nichols in the 12-10 victory for the Moo. Ground ball to McClure. Throws it over to Mix. Double clutches over to first. Not in time. There was a double clutch there by JT Mix. You have to wonder why he had to hesitate. He had it there, and it looked like Hoffpower was ready on first, and I think he just didn't have the best grip. So it'll just be a 5-4 fielder's choice. No double play turned. And there's now 2 outs in the top of the 6th. Top of the 2nd. What am I saying? Top of the 2nd. Peyton Leeper back in the lineup. Haven't seen him since Friday. Well, in fact, the Moo haven't even seen him since Friday. He went 2 for 5 before being ejected late in the game. Grounds one right up the middle, off the pitcher's mound into the outfield for a base hit. Nichols was looking like he was about to head for third, but instead just thought better of it with Gannon Thompson there in center field. So a 2-out base hit for Peyton Leeper puts 2 on with 2 outs. Dylan Sears, another lefty in this Moo lineup. Go Leathernecks. Had to do it, sorry. 320 average on the season. 13 strikeouts, 22 walks. 2 triples, a home run, and 6 RBIs. Had a triple last night. Went 3 for 5 against the Horseheads. Went a combined 4 for 8 at Moeller Field this weekend. Curveball in there for a strike. Dane Frazier is out in left field, his first time in the outfield this season. Gannon Thompson out in center. Dylan Cricket Danielson in right. Norris McClure, Benito Garcia, the familiar left side. JT Mix and Zeph Hoffpower on the right. Will Olson behind the plate as Sears fouls one off into the Sunfish dugout. He's down 0-2. The Sunfish wearing their all whites with their black hats. Orange S, teal F on the hats with the teal brims. White tops, orange sun, teal fish, orange numbers underneath the fish. Orange left sleeve, teal right with the orange numbers on the back. White pants with black trim. The 0-2 from Garcia is taken high. Ball 1, 89 on that one. Fremont Moo wearing their purple hats with the cow on the front. Orange tops, purple numbers on the back, white trim on the sleeves. Purple cursive, or excuse me, it has their Moo logo actually on the left chest, the cow logo with purple numbers on the lower right, gray pants with the orange and purple trim. Fastball called away at the knees for ball 2, 90 miles an hour on that one. And that's the thing with Andrew Garcia. You can look at his stats all you want, and that's fantastic stats. You got to just also look at his speed, though. And the last time he was on the mound here at Karras, he went into the 6th inning, still throwing about 90-91 in the 6th inning, painting the corners. The 2-2, curveball dropping low. It's a full count to Dylan Sears, who started off the at-bat 0-2. 2 outs, 2 runners on, still scoreless in the top of the 2nd here at Karras. And then you can also look at it the flip way. Garcia, I mean, doesn't matter how hard you can throw if you can't throw strikes and get people out, and well, Andrew can. Runners go, grounder right back at Garcia, stabs it out of the air. We'll lob it over to Hoffpower for out number 3. No runs off no hits, or 1 hit, excuse me, 1 error, 2 left on for the Moo. Andrew Garcia gets out of another jam. It's still scoreless here from Sioux Falls when we return. Zeph Hoffbauer, Gannon Thompson, and Dane Frazier due up for the Sioux Falls Sunfish, who got Norris McClure on second in the first inning before Will Olson would fly out with 2 outs. Hoffbauer from Pensacola State College. I was about to read off his ERA. He did pitch last night, was one of the 5 position players to pitch. 2.42 average, though, on the season as he fouls off the first pitch he sees. 1 double, a home run, 14 RBIs, 26 walks, 21 strikeouts for Zeph. He went 0 for 4 in Wednesday's 8-0 victory over the Sodbusters. He takes a long curveball outside. It's 1-1. Zeph, though, against the Moo was one of the most successful in the series here in Sioux Falls. Takes a fastball up and in for ball 2. 1 for 4 in his lone game played. Scored 2 runs. Had 2 RBIs in the 11-10 loss on Tuesday. The 2-1 is a changeup at the knees, but it's called a late strike. I thought it was about to be a ball on the delayed strike call by home plate umpire Alex Shoemaker. So it's a 2-2 count. Curveball is taken high and deep to center field. Tyler Push will trot back just in front of the warning track to make the catch for out number 1. Long fly ball for the Sunfish, who, well, on Wednesday they probably could have had a couple home runs, but it was the deep walls at Duncan Field in Hastings. To my knowledge, and this is just from what people have told me, there have been 2 home runs there in the past several years, including one this season. Curveball misses high to the 6'7" Gannon Thompson. The other Sioux Falls native in this, well, we got Gannon Thompson, who's a Sioux Falls native. You have Jack Simonson, who's also from Sioux Falls, as another curveball misses away. Tyler Olmstead, the first base coach for the Sunfish, who played at South Dakota State, just down the road in Brookings, is a Sioux Falls native. The 2-0, fastball, just a bit high, and Thompson's ahead 3-0. He has 26 walks already on the season, a .451 on-base percentage to match a .257 batting average. With the 3-0, he swings on one. It's now 3-1. So I have to wonder, I haven't talked to Walker about it because I guess it keeps slipping my mind, because there's been a couple in the past 3 games, well, mostly Wednesday. JT Mix and Will Olson also swung on a 3-0. Now a curveball drops in on the inside quarter, and Thompson is now behind 3-2. Well, not behind, it's a full count. Excuse me. Here's the payoff. Fouls this one off, another curveball. It rolls up the back netting and falls down for Dane Frazier to run and get. So out of the starting, 10, I guess, half of them pitched last night for the Sunfish. The payoff again. Drops in there for strike 3. Thompson thought it was inside, but he'll now have to make a slow walk over to the dugout. And again, you have to question why the Sunfish are swinging at a 3-0. Even if it's going to be a strike, you'll never know. But it's better than just swinging and giving the Moo a free strike. That's strikeout number 2 for Linder on the day. It'll be Dane Frazier. He was one of the 5 to pitch yesterday. Once again, it was JT Mix. Dane Frazier, who actually started yesterday, he'll take a fastball outside for ball 1. So it was JT Mix, Norris McClure, Zeph Hoffbauer, Dane Frazier, Dylan Cricket Danielson to accompany the 2 innings from Nick Caviglia. Fastball low and in is called ball 2. Frazier from Yakima Valley College, .264 average, 3 doubles, 13 RBIs. He's got a .449 on-base percentage to pair with a .306 slugging. Went 1 for 4 on Wednesday, scoring a run, also walked and struck out. Takes a changeup on the outside corner for strike 1. 2-1 now. Still scoreless in the bottom of the second with 2 outs, nobody on. The Sunfish would score 10 unanswered against the Sodbusters yesterday. As the fastball's fouled to the back netting, brought to you by Keg Chicken. Order it, eat it, crave it, Keg Chicken. After 2 innings, the Hastings Sodbusters were up 4-1. They had 4 runs off 3 hits through 2 innings. The 2-2 to Frazier misses high, and it's a full count. And after that second inning, the Sunfish would not only score 10 unanswered runs, but then the 5 relief pitchers for the Sunfish would no-hit the Sodbusters as Frazier fouls one off. So all 4 runs and 3 hits were credited to Dane Frazier yesterday. He went 2 innings, 3 hits, 4 runs, all of them earned, 5 walks, 1 strikeout. JT Mix would come in and go 6 up, 6 down. A changeup on the inside corner is called ball 4, and Dane Frazier will walk with 2 outs, similar to how Norris McClure did. Well, so JT Mix in just his second outing goes 2 full innings, no hits, no runs, no walks. He actually struck out 3. Norris McClure is still perfect through his 3 innings pitched this season. So Norris McClure, who has come in twice and pitched 3 innings, is perfect through 3. Dylan Cricket Danielson, who is now up to the plate actually, swings and misses on a fastball low for strike 1. And correction, oh, they just don't have Zeph Hoffpower on the... Yeah, he only pitched 1 inning. I think they just, on Point Streak, forgot to put Zeph Hoffpower on. A changeup's taken at the knees for strike 2. Then again, Point Streak did go down near the end of the game in Hastings. So Dylan Cricket Danielson, in fact, just pitched 1 inning yesterday. Zeph Hoffpower came in and closed it out. Nick Caviglia was the one who got the win. He went 2 innings, no hits, no runs, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. The 0-2 misses low and away, laid off on by Dylan Cricket Danielson, who's since returning to the Sunfish after taking a break for a week. He's batting 140. Went 1 for 4 against the Moo on Tuesday, 2 for 3 on Monday. There goes Frazier, and Cricket Danielson will follow one off again, staying alive at 1-2. Cricket Danielson, after July 3rd, his batting average fell to 102. But then after Monday, it went up to 135. Tuesday, it was 143. And he had a pinch hit on Wednesday. He just went 0 for 1, so it's back down to 140 on the season. But he's on the rise. He's been looking good. Fouls off another breaking ball. It's 1-2. He's been seeing the ball a lot better at the plate. He's got 15 walks on the season, 3 doubles. He had a double in his first game back, and of course has had some spectacular plays in the outfield. He even had one where he chased down Jack Simonson's foul ball in the second inning. 1-2 now to Cricket Danielson. 2 outs, runner on. There goes Frazier again. Fastball swung on and missed, and Dane Frazier won't be credited with the stolen base, as that's out number 3, strikeout number 3 for Dawson Linder. We have another pitcher's duel brewing on our hands. Both teams remain scoreless as the Sunfish go no runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left on base for the second inning in a row. We're scoreless after 2 from Sioux Falls.
Leading off for the Moo in the top of the third, the center fielder from Wyoming University, number 15.
Back to the top of the order we go for the Fremont Moo as we are scoreless in the top of the third inning. The Moo have already batted through once. The Sunfish just have Benito Garcia, who has not seen an at-bat yet today. Tyler Push One of 2 hits today for the Moo. Led off the first inning with a single. He'll see a slider high for ball 1. Andrew Garcia likes to mix it up. He has the fastball, which tops out at about 91, 92. He's quick with his windup as he's going already. The slider will hit on the outside corner. Alex Shoemaker usually has a fairly consistent strike zone. Once he establishes it early on, I'm still trying to get a read on it. That one at the knees a bit away, but it's called a strike. A 1-1 count. Andrew Garcia goes with that fastball. That'll hit at the knees for a strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Tyler Push. Garcia, though, he's got that fastball. Lays off a bit with the changeup occasionally. Has a nasty curveball, and it's that slider that I think is his number 2. Here's the 1-2 count. Goes with a slider low. Did he go? No, he didn't on the appeal down to first base. Actually, excuse me, I think that was a changeup that missed just a bit low. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. As Sunfish listeners may know, throughout the season I've been working on my pitch identification. Having the radar gun here in Sioux Falls has definitely helped out a lot. The 2-1 is definitely a slider low, and it really doesn't matter as it's strike 3 as Tyler Push swings and misses for the first strikeout of the day for Andrew Garcia. And Garcia on the season, in terms of strikeouts, out of all the active players on the Sunfish team, he leads it now with 44. He'll face off against Austin Baskin, who takes the first pitch to right field that he sees. Dylan Cricket Danielson on the run just in front of the warning track will make the catch for out number 2. So in 2 at-bats, Austin Baskin has only seen 2 pitches this game. He was hit by the first pitch he saw from Andrew Garcia in the first inning and now flies out on the first pitch he sees now in the 3rd inning. E.J. Taylor grounded into a double play his first time around. And he's, really shown why he's an all-star. .554 on-base percentage. He has 28 walks on the season. Takes a curveball low for ball 1. And out of everybody on the Sunfish team, he's 2nd in walks, tied for 2nd in walks. Fastball misses for ball 2. Darian Morphew leads the team with 32 walks taken, and it's Brock Reller who's no longer on the Moo. The 2-0 is a slider that cuts in. Started to look like it was going to hit E.J. Taylor in the arm, and instead cut into the inside part of the zone for strike 1. 2 balls and 1 strike. E.J. Taylor almost looked like he gave a smirk on that one. Grounds a fastball over to Benito Garcia. The throw's a bit high, but Zeph Hoffbauer comes down on first for out number 3. 3 up, 3 down inning for Andrew Garcia. His first today, the first for any team today. After 2.5, we still remain scoreless from Karras Park. Benito Garcia will get his first time at the plate. He gives knuckles to Trey Nichols. Knuckles to Nichols. How about that? It's amazing how I find the simplest things in life just so amusing. I'm still a child at heart. From Arizona Western University, the 5'11 righty is batting .228 this season with 32 strikeouts, 7 doubles, a home run, 19 walks. He takes a changeup down the outside of the plate for strike one. Benny went 1 for 6 in yesterday's 11-4 win, scored a run, had a strikeout and 2 stolen bases. The 0-1 is a curveball outside. That was a little short curveball. Almost might have even been a changeup, honestly. That was some weird bend, and it came so quick, too, 85. The 1-1 misses in the dirt, but it's called a strike. Oh, boy. 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Garcia. Not so sure about that one, but not going to go too deep in it at this point. No, 1 ball, 2 strikes to Garcia. Pops up on a breaking ball high, and it'll go out of play for, well, still a 1-2 count. That foul ball presented by Keg Chicken. Order it, eat it, crave it, Keg Chicken. And in the past week, this is Game 6 between the Moo and the Sunfish. Well, if they had continued playing, it would have just been 6 in a row as Garcia chases a fastball upstairs for strikeout number 4 for Dawson Linder. JT Mix will now be back up as we turn the lineup card over and go back to the top of the order. Mix struck out looking his last time up. And with strikeout number 4, Dawson Linder, well, I would say 4 is somewhere near the top of his strikeout in a single game as he throws a curveball away. It's 1 ball and no strikes. But it's really not. And actually, it's his 3rd lowest. He had 1 against the Badlands Big Sticks, 3 against the Sodbusters early on in the season. Fastballs popped up. Right field, Jack Simonson will camp underneath it for out number 2. But in his past 4 outings, 6 strikeouts against the Sodbusters twice, 6 against the Whiskey Jacks, and a season-high 8 against the Pier Trappers all the way back on June 13th. And a Louisiana Saturday night plays over the loudspeakers. That can only mean one thing. It's the Louisiana boy from Bossier City, Jonathan Brandon, who grounded out his first time up. He'll line one into right field, but it'll be directly at Jack Simonson. Anything you can do, we can do also, says the Fremont Moo. They go 3 up, 3 down. And after 3, the Moo and Sunfish are scoreless. It was the 4th inning on Monday where the Moo would score their 1 run to get the win over the Sunfish. Can they do it again? Will history repeat itself? We'll see when we return on the Sunfish Radio Network and the Sunfish live stream on YouTube. Luke White, Jack Simonson, and Darian Morphew will be due up in the top of the 4th inning. It was on Monday in the Fremont Moo 1-0 victory. Then the 4th inning is actually Luke White, Jack Simonson, and Ryan Koski as White will pop one up out of play for strike one off of the slider by Andrew Garcia. But it's actually kind of uncanny that it's Luke White and Jack Simonson, as White would ground out to third. Here's the 0-1. A check swing. It is held on the changeup inside, and it's called a ball, 1-1. And then Jack Simonson would single, Ryan Koski would double, and a sac fly by Trent Sellers would score Jack Simonson for the only run in that game. Curveball misses low. It's 2-1. The Moo hold a one-game lead over the Sunfish. A slider hits the fastball, hits the outside corner, 2-2. 89 on the radar gun. So the velocity coming off just a little bit for AG, but he'll get up to 90 again. There it is, as Luke White will ground down the third base line foul, 2-2. 90 miles an hour on that fastball. We'll be seeing that until AG's pulled later in this game, if he even is pulled. He's allowed just 2 hits through 3 innings. Here's the 2-2. Curveball misses in, almost hits White. He didn't even flinch, didn't turn his back or anything. Was ready to take it. 3 balls, 2 strikes. AG glove up, winds and delivers. Breaking ball. Called a strike on the outside corner, and Luke White on the very delayed strike 3 call goes down looking. Strikeout number 2 for Garcia, and I'll bring up Jack Simonson. I was getting kind of alluding to it in the bottom of the third inning that these teams see each other 3 times this weekend and then close out the season with a 2-game series here in Sioux Falls. And it will most likely, the way that these 2 teams are playing, be the Moo and the Sunfish in the 1 and 2 spots in the Clark division. A swing and a foul ball to the backstop by Simonson on I think that was a slider at the knees. Simonson swung over it, just got a piece of it. And this is a sight to behold on the TV. Fans are back. For those of you professional wrestling fans, Friday Night SmackDown. Fans are in attendance. Curveball misses in. It's 1-1. And the WWE for the past year, over a year, about a year and a half, have been in... Well, they first started out just with no fans in the WWE Performance Center as the foul ball is fouled out of play. It's 1-2. Before moving to the state-of-the-art, award-winning Thunderdome. That was at Tropicana Field, and they actually moved it. It was basically fans in attendance like what they had done for the NBA playoffs, where you had fans with their video cameras and they were put in the audience. I actually was a member of the Thunderdome a few times. The 1-2 is grounded sharply in the backhand of Garcia, deep in the hole, fires it over to first in time. A great glove there by the shortstop Garcia. It was really a hard-hit ground ball off of a fastball, and Benito sometimes struggles with those sharply hit ground balls, but he was able to come up with this one. It was almost lined straight into his glove. Came up with a nice throw over to Zeph Hoffbauer at first. It's the lefty Darian Morphew, who reached on the E6 last time. Takes a fastball low and in, 1-0. But now the fans are back in attendance, and the WWE is... Everything's right in the world. This one shot into the left center field gap, and will fall for a base hit. Thompson picks it up and throws it in to keep Morphew at first, and that's the first hit since the 2-out single by Peyton Leeper in the top of the second inning. 1 runner on, 2 outs. We're still scoreless in the top of the 4th inning. I'll stop talking about professional wrestling. I know it's not for everybody, but it is something that I enjoy. I know head coach Walker Bullington grew up in the 90s, and he was a fan of the Attitude Era of wrestling. So we've talked about it a little bit. There's a couple guys on the team who enjoy it as well. Griffin Hassel is someone I've talked with about it. Even our cameraman Sean, a blooper into shallow right field, is hit right at JT Mix. Trey Nichols got jammed on the fastball, and the one hit is not enough to get something going for the Fremont Moo. They can't score the 1 run here in the 4th today. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on base. We're still scoreless as we head to the bottom of the 4th. Back on the Sioux Falls Sunfish Radio Network and the Sunfish live stream on YouTube. It's Norris McClure leading off, and I said I was going to be done talking about wrestling, but the Rated R Superstar Edge just made the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns tap out as McClure takes this one high and deep to right center field. Tyler pushes back. He'll make the catch just in front of the warning track. 395 to dead center. McClure just missed that one for out number one. And this is a big deal. It was a six-man tag team match. It was Roman Reigns and the Usos versus the Mysterios and Edge. And that's the first time Roman Reigns has lost since returning to TV back at last year's SummerSlam. I know, I'm done talking about it. Will Olson takes a breaking ball at the knees for strike one. Olson flew out his last time up to end the first inning. It's McClure, Olson, Hoffpower to lead this one off. Another curveball drops in this time just below the knees for ball one. We recorded a bonus episode of the Fish Tank today. I know we usually only do it on Wednesdays. I did say on this week's episode Olson turns on one to left field, but he just got jammed a bit as it's right at Darian Morphew. Excuse me, that's Tyler Push in center field. I think I said Morphew the last time. So a fly out to center and a fly out to left. Makes it 2 outs for Hoffpower, who flew out to center his last time up. But we said on this week's episode of the Fish Tank, again, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify, you can find it, the official podcast of the Sioux Falls Sunfish. Hoffpower fouls off a changeup on the inside for strike one. But I said on Norris McClure's episode on Wednesday that they're keep looking at social media for the announcement of maybe a bonus episode. Hoffpower bloops this one into right field. That's going to fall fair down the right field line. He was jammed on a curveball in, and Zeph will get his first base hit of the evening, the first base hit of the game for the Sunfish, in fact. Dawson Linder had gone 3 2/3 inning of no-hit baseball, but it was Zeph Hoffpower who broke that hitless streak. It's Gannon Thompson now, struck out looking after being ahead 3-0 and striking out looking his last time up. But today, recorded an episode, curveball misses low and in, it's 1-0. We had the Augustana boys, Will Olson, Mitch Stone, JT Mix on the podcast today. It'll most likely be posted tomorrow. There goes Hoffpower, the throw high and away, the throw down to second, bounces away from Dylan Sears into center field, but it'll be stopped by Austin Baskin coming over from short. So out of the 3 who have gotten on today, 2 of them have stolen bases, Norris McClure and now Zeph Hoffpower. So it's 2-0 to Thompson as the pitch missed up and away, and the throw missed high and to the left from Trey Nichols. 2 balls, no strikes now to the big man Thompson. Hoffpower dancing around, got some hot feet out there. Curveball drops on the outside corner. Strike one. 2-1 now with 2 outs, runner on second. We're still scoreless in the bottom of the 4th. But for those of you who listen to the Fish Tank, which everyone should, if you're listening to my broadcast, go over after the game, listen to an episode of the Fish Tank. You'll love it. It'll be your new favorite podcast. Curveball misses low. It's 3-1. But on the past few episodes, there's been points throughout where the talking speeds up, the audio speeds up, and, well, I really don't know why, because I kind of listen through them beforehand, and I never hear it, and then it's once they're posted that it's then, oh, this place sped up, this place sped up. So I'm going to have to listen to it tomorrow just to make sure that there's no places like that, and if there are, to try and fix it. The 3-1 is taken low, and Gannon Thompson will draw a 2-out walk. 2 on, 2 out. Nobody has scored yet. It's Dane Frazier who walked himself the last time. But today, Stro, Mix, and Olson, the 3 Augustana Vikings, talked about what it's like to be playing, well, in their college hometown of Sioux Falls, playing at their home field at Karras Park. Talked with JT about what it was like to be on that 2018 national championship team. Talked with Will and Mitch about their previous Expedition League experiences. Change-up misses low and away. It's 1-0. And a whole bunch of other things. If you've listened to an episode of The Fish Tank, you know we can get crazy, we can get off the rails, we can get goofy, and it's a fun listen. The 1-0. Fastball, outside corner, strike one. Previous people on the podcast, well, it's myself and Walker Bullington. I've been on every single episode. Walker missed last week's. It was myself and baseball ops intern Matt Anderson. A fastball jams Frazier. He fouls that one out of play. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. But episode 1 is just myself and Walker, just finding our groove. Then we have Declan Beers, Kenneth Dutka, Jonathan Brandon, Zeph Hoffpower on the same episode. We had baseball ops intern Matt Anderson, Norris McClure, and now the 3 Augustana guys. Here's the 1-2. Curveball, grounded left side. That's through for a base hit. Rounding third is Hoffpower. Up is Morphew, throwing it in. It'll be cut off by Baskin. Gannon Thompson was off of second. The throw was over to second by Dylan Sears. Thompson was almost tagged as Shea Bennett is going to come out to argue that he was. Hoffpower was safe at home. The run will count no matter what. Dane Frazier with the RBI single. Shea Bennett pointing to second, just clearly thinking that, well, Thompson, who didn't slide, and he's kind of hunched over now, looked like he was grabbing his knee, as it looked like it was awkward as he was walking back in. Shea Bennett's conversation is now over. He'll slowly walk back to the third base Moo dugout before turning around and talking with the umpire again. Bennett's got to be careful that he doesn't get tossed here. Walker Bullington and this field umpire, they've had their words over the past weekend, as Shea Bennett now turns and walks away again back to the Moo dugout. Didn't win that argument. 2 on, 2 out. It's 1-0 Sunfish, as Dylan Cricket Danielson, wearing his pants high, showing his teal socks with 3 white stripes at the calf. Looking to try and extend the lead. He'll pop up the first pitch he sees to E.J. Taylor. Stands right behind first base before heading into foul territory and making the catch. Cricket Danielson takes his helmet off in frustration as he ends the inning on that flyout. But the Sunfish take the lead. 1 run off 2 hits. The pair of hits are the 2 that were, well, a part of the scoring. Zeph Hoffpower scores on the single by Dane Frazier. No errors. 2 left on base for the Sioux Falls Sunfish. After 4, the Sunfish lead 1-0 over the Moo. Peyton Leeper, the third baseman, leads things off. Dylan Sears in the 9 spot batting second with Tyler Push due up next. Leeper takes the first pitch he sees high and deep to right center field. It'll bounce off the wall, roll away from Gannon Thompson. So a deep double as Leeper just slowly walked into second. He wasn't even running that hard. Everyone, I think, on the Moo team, and even several Moo fans in attendance, there's actually quite a few, I think they all thought that was a home run to Leeper. Instead, it bounces off the top of the wall just over the Texas Roadhouse sign to the right of the National Championships banner. And it's at that point in the fence that there's a little jut out. So it's from the 310 and down the right field line. It's flat, kind of coming or going back a little bit before a big jut as a ground ball bounces off the mound into center field. Rounding third is Leeper. He'll just take a quick round. There's a throw in from Thompson cut off by Hoffpower as there's now runners at the corners. Leeper not trying to stretch anything and cost the Moo their run.
Now batting the center fielder from Newman.
Dylan Sears on the first pitch he sees after grounding out to Garcia to end the second. Singles and puts runners at the corners with 2 outs. Will Olson comes out, gives the defense their signs as we're back to the top of the order with Tyler Push, who's 1 for 2 on the day. So 2 runners on, no out. Sunfish lead by 1. That was hit number 5 for the Moo off of Andrew Garcia. First pitch, a slider low and away. Good block there by Will Olson. Runners on do not affect Sunfish pitchers all too much. In fact, there's several, including Andrew Garcia, who, well, they can leave the bases loaded, and they'll get out of the jam without letting up a run. Throw over to first, no tag by Hoffpower, just keeping Sears close. Sears speedy on the base pass. He's only got 4 stolen bases on the season, including 1 yesterday. But he's still a bit more aggressive than most of the Moo. Slider misses low again, stopped by Will Olson. It's 2-0 to Tyler Push. It's actually Tyler Push who is kind of a stolen base machine for the Fremont Moo. But Kalen Schwabe from Sewers Valley and Alan Greer, who lead the Expedition League. Fastball misses just below the knee. It's 3 balls and no strikes to Push. Schwabe has 40 stolen bases. That's right, 40 through 34 games played. Greer has 28. But it's Tyler Push at third with 22. In fact, well, out of the top 5, fastballs called strike 1 at the knees, 3-1 on the 88-mile-an-hour fastball. Out of the top 5 in the stolen base category in the Expedition League, it's Tyler Push, who's the only one not from Sewers Valley. Jonathan Brandon, who leads the Sunfish, is in 7th with 17. Throw over to first, no tag by Hoffpower. It's still 3-1. Sunfish lead 1-0 after scoring 1 in the bottom of the 4th. Here in the top of the 5th, though, the first 2 have gone on with a double and a single, respectively, for Leeper and Sears. Garcia checks over at first and third. Time is called by Push at the plate. And so the Sunfish lead the Expedition League in stolen bases, but they have no one in the top 5 and just 2 in the top 10. A slider gets pushed to chase outside. It's a full count. 3 in the top 11. Adonis Forte is in 11th with 15 stolen bases. JT Mix in 9th with 16, with Jonathan Brandon in 7th with his 17 stolen bases. Slider misses in the dirt away, and Dylan Sears will head over to second with Push loading the bases on his no-out walk. It's Austin Baskin, who's 0 for 1 with a hit by pitch and a flyout.
University of Memphis, number 32, Austin Basket.
He'll step up when the base is loaded, no outs. So force out at any base. The tying run just 90 feet away. The go-ahead in scoring position on second. The middle infield playing at double play depth with the corners in line with their respective bases. Andrew Garcia from the stretch still. His first pitch thrown to Baskin is taken high and deep to left center field. Thompson makes the catch and fires it in. It'll be cut off by McClure, as the only runner who will move is Peyton Leeper, scoring from third on the sacrifice fly by Austin Baskin. So the similar way that they scored in the fourth inning on Monday, they just did it an inning later with the sac fly, this time from Baskin, scoring Leeper. And it's not to take the lead, it's to tie it at 1. 1 out, runners at first and second for E.J. Taylor, who's 0 for 2 on the day. Garcia tends to thrive with a bit more of run support behind him. Obviously, every pitcher does. That's a no-brainer. But through his 8 starts, fastball catches the outside of the plate for strike 1. Out of his 8 starts, here's the Sunfish scores. 11. Well, currently it's 1. So that's for his 8th start. But out of the other 7, 11 runs, 10 runs. On a curveball in the dirt, blocked by Will Olson, it's 1-1. So 11 runs, 10 runs, 6 runs, 9 runs, 5 runs, and 8. So some high scoring for the Sunfish in all those wins. The only time that Garcia's come on the mound and the Sunfish have lost. Now, he hasn't gotten a decision. Obviously, in his 8 appearances, there's been 2 no decisions for him. Curveball misses low and away. It's 2-1. But aside from the 2 no decisions, the only other appearance that Garcia has had where the Sunfish have lost was the loss to the Moo on May 26th. Otherwise, the Sunfish have won in every game that Garcia has appeared in since. He had 1 inning of relief against Wheat City on July 6th. And then also 6 innings, allowing just 3 runs off 4 hits as E.J. Taylor swings and misses on a changeup. It's 2-2. The Sunfish at Pier would win 6-5 in that one. And it's just the run support that Garcia has, I think, motivates Garcia. When it was 10-5 against the Spearfish Sasquatch here, he went 7 1/3. And well, when you have 10 runs behind you, as Taylor fouls one off into the leg of Will Olson, who appears to just walk it off. He's a tough guy, Will. 2 balls, 2 strikes still to E.J. Taylor with 1 out. And it was actually Garcia who, in that 10-5 victory, he went 7 1/3, allowing just 1 run off 4 hits. So it was 4 runs that weren't even credited to him in that 10-5 victory. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 on, 1 out. Tie ball game at 1 apiece. Here in the top of the 5th inning from Karras Park. The 2-2 is inside, and Taylor pulls it just a bit too much. As that sails into the parking lot, oh boy, that almost hit a car. It almost nailed it. There's actually a convertible that, can't tell if that says a BMW or if that's just a bug. But it landed like right between them, just past it on the grass. There's a Subaru right next to it. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Garcia gets him with the curveball. Taylor shakes his head knowing he got fooled. Strikeout number 3 for Andrew Garcia. With 2 outs and 2 on, it'll be Luke White, who struck out his last time up. He's 0 for 2 on the day. And it's White. I think I brought this up earlier this week. He goes to Lewis Clark State, and I find that funny just because that's the name of the divisions here in the Exhibition League, the Lewis and Clark. Curveball jams White on the inside. It's no balls and 1 strike. Western Nebraska Pioneers are a few games behind of the Moo in the Clark Division standings. They've also played a few less games. Let's see, they've played, if my math serves me correctly, that's 4 less games than the Moo and the Sunfish. Actually, 2 less games than the Sun. It's 2 less games. My math does not serve me correctly. Both teams have played 14. The Pioneers have only played 12. They're 8-4, currently on a 2-game winning streak, the Pioneers. They won the first half division, so at this point, they're just trying to have bragging rights. This one's popped up to JT Mix in deep outfield dirt. He'll actually catch it on the shallow right field grass for out number 3. The Moo respond with a run of their own on a sac fly by Austin Baskin, scoring Peyton Leeper, who led off with a double. 1 run off 2 hits, no errors, 2 left on base. Andrew Garcia gets out of that jam with minimal damage. When you have the bases loaded and no outs and you only allow 1 run, that's a win for AG. Due up for the Sunfish in the bottom half of the 5th inning, it's Benito Garcia, JT Mix, and Jonathan Brandon. Back on game show night from Karras Park, we have a little Price is Right on the field right now. The Sunfish were part of another game show night in Pierre against the Trappers. They had some Price is Right, they had some Family Feud, they had some trivia, stuff like that. And the game show night here, we've had Family Feud and Price is Right so far that I've at least witnessed. The Sunfish and the Moo are tied at 1-1 in the bottom of the 5th inning. Benito Garcia leading things off. He's struck out in the 3rd inning. Dawson Linder is still on the mound for the Moo here in the 5th inning, and Linder has gone 5 innings 3 times this season. He went 6 in the second game for the Moo this season back on May 24th. 6 innings against the Hastings Sodbusters. As his changeup misses high, it's 1 ball, no strikes. He also went 5 innings against the Pierre Trappers and 6 innings against the Whiskey Jacks this season. He'll try and drop a curveball, but it'll only break to the eyes of Benito Garcia. 2-0 now to Benito. We were talking about the Clark Division standings before the break. Slider hits the outside corner for strike 1, and that ball was a bit low and away that even the scoreboard operator here at Karras Park marked that as a ball. 2-1 to Benito. He fouls a fastball off, evening the count at 2. Well, so the Western Nebraska Pioneers claimed their share of the playoffs for the Clark Division with winning the first half of the season. It was the Fremont Moo who, after losing their first game to the Hastings Sodbusters, would go on to win 11 straight, and they looked like they were going to cruise to a Clark Division title as Garcia lines one up the middle for a base hit. Benito with his first hit of the day, and that's now 4 straight games that Benito has gotten a hit. And in those 4 games, 3 of them are against the Moo, and 2 of them are multi-hit games. He went 4 for 10 against the Moo on Monday and Tuesday, scoring twice on Tuesday in the 11-10 loss. But the Moo then would kind of go on a bit of a losing streak near the middle to end of the first half. A throw over to first, not in time to tag Benito. JT Mix at the plate, 0 for 2. No outs, runner on first. It's a 1-1 ball game. So the Moo are trying to get their redemption, come back and actually win this second half as the fastball is called a strike on the outside corner. The Sunfish, well, They were never really in contention in that first half. Started off the season 0-5 after losing 2 against the Moo. Another fastball is called just a bit away. It's ball 1. 1-1 now to JT Mix. And the Sunfish, their longest winning streak in the first half of the season was 4 in a row. Throw over to first again. Benito safe. So 4 in a row in the first half of the season, but they couldn't really piece many winning streaks together. The Sunfish would end 2 games under 500. Good for 4th place in the Clark division. Benito dancing at first. JT will foul one off to the back netting and go down 1 ball, 2 strikes. But to start off the first half of the Expedition League, or the second half of the Expedition League, Sioux Falls, well, they were on top. They would win 5 in a row to go 8-1 before losing 3 straight to the Moo, falling 1 game behind of first place in the Clark division standings. Another throw over, a late tag by E.J. Taylor. Now they've won back-to-back against Hastings. They keep that 1 game difference between themselves and the Moo, who the Moo are now on 5-game winning streak. Benito takes off as he was dancing again. Throw low and away. The throw down to second, though. A strike to Dylan Sears. It was too late to make a tag. As the throw, it was a tough throw to go down on. But Trey Nichols made the best of it and actually threw his best throw down to second on the 3 stolen bases for the Sunfish. Benito gets his 12th of the season, tying Adonis Forte. The 2-2 to Mix. Curveball missing high and away, and it's a full count. The Spearfish Sasquatch also kind of made a late first half run. They ended up finishing second, just above the Moo, who finished third. They're currently at 8-6. As a fastball will miss in the left-handed batter's box in the dirt, and JT will get on for the first time today with a walk. 2 on, no out. Jonathan Brandon will step up with the tie ball game and the go-ahead run in scoring position for the Sunfish. The Pier Trappers and the Hastings Sodbusters each only have 4 wins in the second half, as the Trappers won back-to-back against the Wheat City Whiskey Jacks, including Fisher Rausch, who the Sunfish are familiar with. Fastball misses and bounces off the plate. E.J. Taylor will come over from first, as will Trey Nichols. But Fisher Rausch, who got the win against the Sunfish on the 4th of July in the final meeting between the 2 teams, threw a no-hitter for the Trappers yesterday. They no-hit the Wheat City Whiskey Jacks, the first no-hitter of the Expedition League season this season. Congratulations to Fisher Rouse. Congratulations to Trappers broadcaster Tyler Katz, who had a fantastic call yesterday for that historic moment for the Pier Trappers. The Trappers have now won 13 this season and are at 4-10, just a half a game above the Hastings Sodbusters, who with the 2 loss to the Sunfish are at 4-11. Change-up hits the lower outside corner. It's 1-1. 2 on, no out. A 1-1 tie between the Moo and the Sunfish here in the bottom of the 5th inning. The sun beginning to set to our right. Lights not on yet here at Karras Park. They'll probably will be soon. The delivery is fouled off by Jonathan Brandon. I think he fouled it into Trey Nichols as it rolls into the awaiting hand of Norris McClure in the on-deck circle. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Jonathan Brandon, who is 0 for 2 on the day. Ground out and a fly out. The Souris Valley Saberdogs, who won the first half of the Lewis division. They're 1-2 against the Sunfish this season. They came here to Karras Park on a hot streak. And, well, the Sunfish were not intimidated. They would take 2 out of the 3. Their only loss was, oh, what was that? I got to go back and check. It was 31 combined runs. I know that. I think that was 18-13. Both runners go. Curveball misses high. Nichols will choose to throw down to second. Dylan Sears will almost make a Superman dive in the air. He looked like he was trying to take off to fly. He makes the catch, preventing it from going into the outfield. And a successful double steal for the Sunfish puts JT Mix on second, Benito Garcia on third, and with no outs, the Sunfish have 2 in scoring position. That's 5 stolen bases as a curveball will get Jonathan Brandon to swing and miss for out number 1. 5 stolen bases on the day for the Sunfish. Strikeout number 5 for Jonathan Brandon. The lefty, Norris McClure, 0 for 1 with a flyout and a walk, steps up with 2 in scoring position. It was Norris who takes a fastball in, almost hits him. He has to dance back away from it. It was Norris in his first game ever as a Sunfish in Game 3 against the Souris Valley SaberDogs would be the walk-off walk to score Will Olson to take the second game. Ground ball over to third. Gotten out of the air by Leaper. He throws over to E.J. Taylor at first for out number 2, and just like that, the Moo are 1 out closer to getting out of this sticky situation that they're in. But McClure would walk-off walk against the Souris Valley SaberDogs to take Game 3 and the series win against the SaberDogs. But they're on a 4-game winning streak currently. 9-5 on top of the Lewis Division standings once more. And if the team that won the first half of the season for a division wins the second half, they then just go to the second place team. A curveball drops in for a strike to Will Olson. Olson 0 for 2, flying out to left field both times. 2 on, 2 out. The 0-1 is fly ball into the gap in right center field. That falls. Garcia scores. Here comes Mix. Olson chucking into second. He'll beat the throw, but he looks like he got hurt on the slide as the throw in from Jack Simonson, I think, might have hit him in the leg. He takes his helmet off, and Will looks to be hurt. Both base coaches, Tyler Olmstead and Lane Hovde, come in. That's a 2 RBI double for Will Olson. As Garcia and Mix score, the Sunfish take a 3-1 lead, but at what cost? It looks like Will's okay now. He's taking off his batting gloves and giving them to Tyler Olmstead. He looks to be okay, standing on second. I think it's something in his back as he looks to talk to friend Dylan Sears. The two of them know each other. I talked to Dylan before this season about coming to Sioux Falls, and he immediately told me about Will Olson, the catcher for Augustana, the All-American for Augustana. Zeph off power takes a fastball on the outside corner for strike 1. Zeph 1 for 2. He singled and scored in the 4th for the first run of the game for the Sunfish. They now lead 3-1 on the 2 RBI double by Olson. Olson's caught off, and the late throw, though, by Linder as Austin Baskin was covering. And Linder stepped off with Will just kind of frozen in the baseline, but it was a late throw by Linder that gave Olson enough time to dive back. Will now has 9 doubles on the season. Fastball runs high. It's 1-1. Two outs, 1 on for the Sunfish. They lead 3-1. Here's the 1-1 to Hoff Power. Fastball right down the heart of the plate for strike 2. But it was the Mining City Tommyknockers who were kind of, again, just like the Moo, toying around with that number 1 spot in the Lewis division in the first half before going on a losing streak at the worst time possible. Zeph swings and misses on a fastball away, and that's out number 3. Strikeout number 6 for the 4th time this season for Dawson Linder, but he doesn't get it in time as the Sioux Falls Sunfish score 2 on the double by Will Olson. 2-run score off 2 hits No errors, one left on base. It's 3-1 Sunfish after 5.
Roster of new items. Fresh out of the lab comes
I know, the girl texted me today and said, we're coming to the game tonight.
The Sunfish lead by 2 after the 5th inning. It was basically, at first, the Moo went anything you can do, we can do also, having a 3-up, 3-down right after Andrew Garcia would go 3-up, 3-down in the top of the 3rd inning. And then the Sunfish would score 1 in the bottom of the 4th, so the Moo were just like, well, we'll score 1. And then the Sunfish said, well, now anything you can do, we can do better. Jack Simonson grounds 1. Benito Garcia lays out, throws it over to Hoffpower. What a play by the shortstop Garcia. Dives for the ground ball behind second, comes up firing, and is able to make the throw in time. Simonson is retired on a beautiful throw by Benito Garcia from short. And there's 1 away for the lefty Darian Morphew. Woo! What I was getting at was, well, the Sunfish, anything you can do, we can do better. They score 2 in the bottom of the 5th to take the 3-1 lead. And I'd also like to see the Moo top that from Benito Garcia. Fastball just caught on the inside corner. Changeup, actually, for strike 1 to Darian Morphew, who's 1 for 2. He shows bunt, but misses on a fastball on the outside corner. 89 from Garcia. Morphew down 0 for 2. Reached on an error by Garcia in the 2nd, singled in the 4th. He's got an orange-barreled bat. Is almost hit by a slider in. Instead, it's just ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Top of the 6th inning from Karras Park. It's kind of this time that I really enjoy Karras Park. It's when the sun's just starting to set. The lights aren't on yet. Most of the field is in shadows. Changeup misses on the outside corner. It's 2-2. But there's sun peeking through in the outfield and soft light on the infield, and it's just a beautiful sign. Fastball runs low and in. It's a full count. Again, top of the 6th inning, and Andrew Garcia is still throwing 90 miles an hour. Heck of a pitcher. He misses with a fastball high, and some questionable ball calls lead to a 1-out walk to Darian Morphew. A lot of those are painting the corners, and that's Garcia's bread and butter, is painting the corners. He never really throws one right down the heart of the plate. Instead, he's throwing it on the outside corner, inside corner, riding high in the zone, getting the strikes at the chest. And if he doesn't get those calls, and it's sometimes a long day for AG. 1 out, runner at first for Trey Nichols. Takes a fastball high for ball 1. Sunfish lead by 2 now in the top of the 6th inning after a 2-out double by Will Olson. Throw over to first, no tag by Hoffpower. Now a late tag, but not in time. The Moo, well, aren't really known for their stolen bases, just 84. Throw over again, no tag again this time by Zeph. Still a 1-0 count to Nichols. And it's actually kind of crazy. The Sunfish now have 5 stolen bases tonight. They're at 168. Curveball drops in on the inside corner for strike 1. It's ones across the board. Well, let's just go with the 163 coming into the game. So we're just assuming that no one has played tonight yet. Including the Badlands Big Sticks. The Sunfish have 100 more stolen bases than 5 teams at the bottom of the Expedition League. Breaking ball misses low. It's 2-1 now to Nichols with a runner on first and 1 away. The Badlands Big Sticks have 63, or had 63 coming into today. A fastball jams Nichols as he fouls it out of play. That foul ball presented by Keg Chicken. Order it, eat it, crave it, Keg Chicken. So the Big Sticks have the 5th least stolen bases in the Expedition League with 63. The Casper Horseheads at the bottom with 51. So Sunfish coming into today's game had 112 more stolen bases than Casper. A curveball almost comes in and hits Nichols before breaking back and making it a full count as it misses inside. 3 balls, 2 strikes, runner on first. Top of the 6th inning. Here's the pitch. Misses low and away. Olson lost it. It rolls back into fair play, but Morphy will just stop at second. Back-to-back walks issued by Garcia. And on the day, he's currently sitting at, let's see, let's do that quick math. That's 84 pitches through 5 1/3 innings. Garcia might not make it to the 7th. Looks like Jacob Lassier might be up and throwing in the pen for the Sunfish. It's now the lefty Peyton Leeper who doubled and scored last inning. He'll take a changeup high for ball 1. On the season, as Leeper's 2 for 2 today, he's batting .500 against Garcia. His only other appearance came on Friday. And it was Friday's loss. Garcia got his 5th victory. He throws a fastball in. It's 2-0. 11-5. Garcia pitched 5 innings, allowing just 1 run off 5 hits. It was Jacob Lassier a week ago today who had pitched 3 1/3 before Zeph Hoffpower came in and closed it out. Will Olson now calling time to talk to his pitcher. But yeah, Walker Bullington has really gotten a nice rotation going with what he's got. Pitchers have been leaving as of recent. It was Caleb Kranz, Matt Hess, 2 starters for the Sunfish that were key losses. Drew Ballou just left out of the bullpen. Nick Cavilla will be leaving, I think he told me, on the 17th, if I remember correctly. Sioux Falls did just get a new pitcher from South Dakota State coming in today. The 2-0 is popped up. Left field. Coming in is Frazier. His hat falls off. It's a long run. He makes the catch on the run. Norris McClure and Benito Garcia both running in from shallow outfield as no one was covering third. A long run for Dane Frazier out there in left field. That's the first action he's seen all day.
Now batting the second baseman from Western Illinois, number 1.
Every once in a while, there's an outfielder for the Sunfish who they just don't get a lot of action in the outfield. I think it was Tanner Wilson who even came on, or he told me one of the other days he got almost every single fly ball hit to him. And then there was another one where he didn't move in center. Dane Frazier hasn't moved in left up until that hit. And that was a long run. Dylan Sears, who's 1 for 2 on the day, takes a changeup for strike 1. That was a nice changeup that fell in right at the knees. Sears and the Western Illinois Fighting Leathernecks during this season after not winning a single game before COVID stoppage in 2020. takes a changeup outside. It's 1-1. But after going winless in the 2021 season, a tough start for them, they'd kick off the 2021 campaign, headed to Louisville for a 3-game series against the number 4 Cardinals. And, well, they would go in and beat them. First game of the season, curveball taken low. It's 2-1. Western Illinois would go down to Louisville, and, well, in that first game of the series, it was actually Dylan's brother, Brett, who would come in and just pitch a gem. A couple relief hitters as well. It was Derek Bottaletto and Trent Bauer who were hot on the bats. Bottaletto going 4 for 4. Dylan Sears hits one into left center field. Frazier coming over, and back-to-back catches for Frazier after going 5 innings of just standing there. Ends this one. No runs off no hits, no errors. 2 left on base for the Fremont Moo. The Sunfish, after 5.5, still lead by 2. It's 3-1 Sunfish as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Back on the Sunfish Radio Network and the Sunfish live stream on YouTube, David Coyer. It's 3-1 Sunfish. In the bottom of the 6th, Gannon Thompson leads things off for Sioux Falls as he'll take a curveball right down the heart of the plate for strike 1. Declan Beers, who recently, and by recently I mean yesterday, just turned 21, participated in Jeopardy between innings. Curveball taken high, it's 1-1. So late happy birthday to Declan. Was going to give him a shout out on the broadcast yesterday, but down in Hastings, we moved to a different field. There just wasn't enough room in the podcast or in the booth. There we go. A high chopper over to third. A charging leaper makes the throw over to E.J. Taylor for out number 1. And that's what happens when I can't talk is, well, I get behind. So apologies on that one. It's easy for me to say the broadcast booth. It's not like I spend all my time up here anyway. I digress. We move to Dane Frazier, who's 1 for 1 with a single and a walk. His single would score Zeph Hoffpower in the 4th inning, and then it was the double by Will Olson that put the Sunfish ahead 3-1. Fastball hits the outside part of the plate for strike 1. But Jeopardy in between innings. There was a Sioux Falls category and a Sunfish category. The 0-1, a fastball swung on and missed. It's 0-2. The Sioux Falls category, there were questions about, well, the Sunfish, their home here in Sioux Falls. And then in the Sunfish category, it was, well, who leads the team in stolen bases? Jonathan Brandon. The 0-2, taken outside on the changeup. It's 1-2. It was who are the 3 All-Stars for the Sunfish? Will Olson, Adonis Forte, and Andrew Garcia. Fastball low and away, taken for ball 2. And then I was told what the other question was. Oh, it was what are the Sunfish colors? That wasn't asked to Declan, but that would if he had chosen that one, that's what it would have been asked. Fastball jams Frazier on the inside. It's still 2-2 as he fouls that one off. With a foul ball, it's presented by Keg Chicken. Order it, eat it, crave it. Keg Chicken. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out in the bottom of the 6th. Nobody on. Dane Frazier takes a fastball away. It's 3-2 from Dawson Linder, who's still on the mound for the Moo. It's been a bit of a pitcher's duel again for the 3rd straight meeting between the Moo and the Sunfish. And it's actually been some nice pitchers' battles on the entire series as Frazier rips that one down the left field line. It'll roll all the way to the corner. Frazier digging for second. Morphew just picks it up. And Frazier will calmly walk into second with a 1-out double on the 3-2 count. 2 for 2 now with a single and a double. Dane Frazier just got all of that one as he ripped it down the left field line. And actually, well, it actually would have been a double either way because, again, we've seen it once before on a ball hit into that left field corner, the 320 down the line. About 5 feet of fencing is missing down the left field fencing, and if the ball rolls into the beer garden, as Dylan Cricket Danielson fouls off the first pitch, if the ball rolls into that beer garden, it's just a ground rule double. So we've seen it once before this season. It wasn't for the Sunfish. In fact, I think it might have been the Trappers, if I'm not mistaken. The Trappers are the Sodbusters, actually. I think it was the Sodbusters. The 0-1 comes in, and it hits Dylan Cricket Danielson on the shoulder. He'll take his base on the hit by pitch. And it's a skill. I mean, it's almost laughable at this point how much Dylan Cricket Danielson gets hit. That's his 9th time getting hit this season. But someone who gets hit just a bit more than he does is E.J. Taylor of the Fremont Moo. Taylor's gotten hit 9 times, as has Brock Reller, but Brock Reller no longer a member of the Fremont Moo. And the Sunfish, I think, still trail Fremont in the hit by pitch category. We'll take a look at that. And yep. So that's Sioux Falls getting hit for the 67th or 68th time. Fremont has been hit 71 times, and that'll be it for Dawson Linder in the bottom of the 6th inning. Linder allows a double and a hit by pitch after getting Gannon Thompson to ground out, and that'll be it. We'll get you his final line and who's replacing him when we return on the Sunfish Radio Network and the Sunfish live stream on Chase Reynolds is the one who'll be relieving Dawson Linder. Linder went 5 1/3, allowing 5 hits, 4 walks, 6 strikeouts. Currently, he's allowed just 3 runs, but there's 2 on, and if either of them score, they'll be credited to Linder. Chase Reynolds from Topeka, Kansas, the 5'10 righty from Midland University, one of the many Midland players on this Moo team. Of course, general manager and head coach Shea Bennett is the head coach at Midland. As Reynolds, before anything gets going, has to call Trey Nichols out to make sure that they are on the same page with the signs. 1 out, bottom of the 6th inning. Gannon Thompson grounded out. Dane Frazier would double on a 3-2 count. And Cricket Danielson would get hit. So runners on first and second with 1 away for Benito Garcia, who's 1 for 2 with a single, 2 stolen bases, and he ended up scoring on the double by Will Olson. Reynolds, his first pitch is grounded over to Dylan Sears. Baskin grabs it, throws it over to first, and he actually doesn't throw it. Fooled me out. He was going to, but as my eyes moved from second to first, I knew the throw wasn't going to be in time anyway. Garcia ran that one out. Dane Frazier moves over to third. Cricket Danielson heads up back to the dugout as he's retired on the 4-6 fielder's choice. Runners at the corners with 2 out for JT Mix, who walked and scored his last time up. Entering the ballpark, it appears to be Carter Tibbetts' family. I met his dad a few weeks ago, and now his entire family's in time. The throw over to first, Benito Garcia's caught off, and E.J. Taylor will make the tag. So just like that, JT Mix doesn't even get a pitch thrown to him, and Chase Reynolds gets the job done. He comes in and, well, gets out of the jam. There were runners at the corners, and he throws just 1 pitch, and he gets 2 outs. So no runs score off 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on base for the Sunfish. Dawson Linder, his final stat line, 5 1/3 innings pitched, 5 hits, 3 earned runs, 4 walks, 6 strikeouts. After 6 full from Karras Park, it's the Sioux Falls Sunfish 3, the Fremont Moo 1.
Now batting the center fielder from Newman University, number 15, Tyler.
In the top of the 7th, we go at the top of the order for the Fremont Moo. The 1-2-3, Tyler Push, Austin Baskin, and E.J. Taylor. Push is 1 for 2, single all the way back in the first, was left stranded at third. Walked his last time up, and has a strikeout sandwiched in between. First pitch he sees from Andrew Garcia is fouled off over the right side. It's 0-1 on the foul ball, presented by Keg Chicken. Order it, eat it, crave it, Keg Chicken. We'd like to thank Norberg Paints, who bought 100 tickets for tonight's game and gave them away at their 2 locations. So that was for tonight's game. Norberg Paints, in the words of Norris McClure, hashtag paint up. That was such a fun podcast on Wednesday. Fastball runs low to Push. It's 1-1. Sunfish lead 3-1 in the top of the 7th inning. Here's the 1-1 from Andrew Garcia. Slider missing low and away. It's 2-1. So Walker Bullington confident that his starter could get through 3. AG on that pitch is now at 94 pitches. Kenneth Dutka on Wednesday. Sharply hit ball past the diving glove of Zeph Offpower into right field. Dylan Cricket Danielson with the backup prevents an extra base hit for Tyler Push. He's now 2 for 3. An opposite field line drive for Zeph Offpower. Zeph Had a bit of a late jump on it, but a nice dive. If he had just been a millisecond quicker, might have actually had a nice diving stop on that one. It'll be Austin Baskin, who I was told before the game goes by the nickname of Bam. Was not told why, as Zach Berman, the broadcaster for the Fremont Moo, also had no idea why, as Baskin fouls off the first pitch he sees. Baskin has the lone RBI of the game with his sac fly that scored Peyton Leeper in the 5th. He flew out in the 3rd and was hit by a pitch, but was out number 1 of that 5-4-3 double play. The 0-1 swung on and missed. A changeup got him. It's 0-2. But it was Kenneth Dutka on Wednesday against the Sodbusters, who threw 101 pitches. The 0-2 brushes back Baskin just a little bit on the curveball in. It's 1-2. And it was Kenneth on Wednesday who would end up getting the win. Couldn't go 7 full. High chopper down the third base line, but it was foul from the second and hit the ground off the fastball. It's still 1-2. Dutka would go 6 2/3 innings. Just couldn't get out of the 7th inning. He has not allowed an earned run since June 13th. Throw over to first. No tag by Hoffpower. And it's kind of, we've talked about on the past couple broadcasts who's all making the All-Star game. Not who all made the All-Star game. Andrew Garcia, Will Olson, and Adonis Forte. The 1-2 swung on and fouled underneath the legs of Alex Shoemaker. It's 1-2. And when we had Tanner Wilson on, what was that? That was on Tuesday on the broadcast. Well, he and I even talked about, well, who do we think are some snubs? As even there's Dutka running out to the bullpen just to let who's ever throwing know that they might be going in. The 1-2 is popped up, center field. Thompson got all the time in the world, trots in a little bit, and throws it in. It was Push who was threatening to tag up, as Thompson was almost taking a bit too much time out there in center. There's one away in the top of the 7th. But the number one person who came out to mind for both myself and Tanner Wilson on an all-star snub was, well, Kenneth Dutka. E.J. Taylor up to the plate 0 for 3. Grounded into a double play, grounded out to Garcia in the 3rd, and then struck out in the 5th. But Dutka is batting .313. He's been here since day one, has played in 28 games. Batting .313. Taylor swings on a changeup and misses. Kenny has 19 walks, 12 stolen bases, 4 doubles, 3 home runs. And while pitching-wise, he's 3-1. Throw over to first, tags just a bit late from Hoffpower. It's 0-1 still to E.J. Taylor with 1 away. Runner on first, 3-1 ball game, Sunfish leading. But Dutka, 3.89 ERA through 8 games, 3 starts. Throw over to first again, he got him! The field umpire was about to call safe, but it was a tag on the arm of Tyler Push that got him. As the nice tag applied by Zeph Hoffpower, 3rd time's the charm on the throw over. There's 2 away now here in the top of the 7th inning. Push now makes his way back to the third base dugout of the Moo, and Andrew Garcia can go back to the windup. But Kenneth Dutka, 32 1/3 innings pitched, has struck out 30, walked 9. And he has won his last 3 appearances as a slider hits the outside corner for strike 2 to E.J. Taylor. And in his last 2 outings, he's gone a combined 13 2/3 innings of allowing no runs and just 9 hits, striking out 8. Taylor swings and misses on 1 away, and it's an unofficial 3 up, 3 down for the Moo as Andrew Garcia completes 7 in what will most likely be his last at-bat. He gets a handshake from Walker Bullington and Lane Hovde, gives knuckles to the rest of his dugout. Strikeout number 4 for Garcia. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, no one left on. In the 7th, the Sunfish still lead by 2 when we return. Bottom of the 7th inning, Sunfish lead 3-1 over the Fremont Moo. It'll be the top of the order. JT Mix, Jonathan Brandon, and Norris McClure due up. And so what we were getting at the top of the end of the top of the 7th, as Mix fouls off the first pitch he sees from Chase Reynolds. It's just that Kenneth Dutka has just, especially after his outing on Wednesday, basically almost going 14 innings of allowing no runs. And if you take the 3 innings in the appearance before that, almost a total of 17 innings not allowing an earned run. Ground ball past the hand of Chase Reynolds back to Dylan Sears. Sears is the one who will throw it over to first to get the out. JT now 0 for 3. Jonathan Brandon 0 for 3 himself with a ground out, a strikeout, and a flyout. In what is most likely his last weekend as a Sunfish, he's trying to end on a high note after hitting a home run yesterday in Hastings. It was Mitch Stone, Jonathan Brandon, Will Olson, and Carter Tibbetts on a changeup that misses in from Reynolds, 1-0. But it was the 4 of them who hit 4 home runs in a single game. As Brandon pops one up, it's 1-1. That's the most hit in a single game in Sunfish history. Previous record was 3. Brandon has been a part of both games that were the most home runs in a single game. It was on Father's Day when J-Bo, Dutka, and Adonis Forte all hit a home run. A little blooper into shallow right field. Jonathan Brandon will set his bat down as Dylan Sears makes the catch. 2 away.
Now batting, the third baseman from Spring Hill College, number 30.
But it's Norris McClure, another guy whom, if we're talking about all-star snubs, Norris has been having a season. He's been playing in now his 22nd game for the Sunfish since arriving those many Sundays ago against Souris Valley. He takes a fastball outside. .310 batting average, 15 RBIs, 5 extra base hits, a .416 on-base percentage, and he's one of the best defensive gloves the Sunfish have. As the curveball misses away, it's 2-0. I think the 3 biggest that, if there were any replacements needed, as McClure slices one off the football complex's side wall out of play out of Karras Park, it's 2-1. But if there were 3 who, as a Sunfish fan and a Sunfish broadcaster and one of the top members of the Sunfish media, McClure pops one up, skyrockets it into shallow right to Dylan Sears, who has enough time to make the catch just next to his left ear. 3 up, 3 down for Reynolds. But if there were 3 who I think were snubbed from the All-Star game, I think it'd be Norris McClure, Tanner Wilson, and Kenneth Dutka. And there's some reasoning behind it. We might get to that when we return for the top of the 8th inning. But after 7, the Sunfish still lead 3-1.
Now batting the DH for Lewis Clark State.
Luke White, Jack Simonson, Darian Morphew due up to lead off the top of the 8th inning. Andrew Garcia's night is done, and what a night he's had. Austin Oblas relieves him of his duties and tries to close this one out against the Moo, and the first pitch he throws to Luke White hits him. That's the first time White has reached today, and not a good start for Oblas, but let's see if he can get out of it. Garcia went 7 innings,
Now batting the right fielder from North Dakota.
allowed 6 hits and only 1 run.
Simonson.
3 walks and 4 strikeouts, and if that doesn't show you why he's an all-star this season, well, I don't know what does. Oblas, in his 9th appearance for the Sunfish, leads the Sunfish. Well, actually tied for the lead now with Mitch Stone with 9, but he, out of active Sunfish players, leads them as he throws a slider that just misses high to Jack Simonson, who's 0 for 3. And through those 8 appearances, 2-1 with a 3.6 ERA, 15 innings pitched, 18 strikeouts, 10 walks. Simonson pops this one up high and deep to left center field. Thompson at the warning track makes the catch at his shoulder. Heading back to first is Luke White. A long fly out for Simonson. And when he hits the ball, he hits it far. He's been hitting it all over the place, too. He's been hitting it far. He's been hitting it hard. The last time he was up, he had that sharply hit ground ball to Benito Garcia, but Garcia just showing his defensive prowess. So Oblas averaging just over a strikeout an inning. Now has 1 away, as he'll drop a curveball in on the outside corner for strike 1 to Darian Morphew. Morphew, 1 for 2, reached on an error, singled, and walked his last time up. He's got a run around with 1 out. Sunfish leading by 2. Oblas, we haven't seen him since July 6th in Wheat City. Gets Morphew to chase on a pitch outside. It's 0-2. Top of the 8th inning. Let's take a quick trip around the Expedition League. I know we're a little late on this one, but there were some more important matters at hand. Some of the stuff I was talking about. Here's the 0-2. Curveball. Got him to swing. The pitch goes into Will Olson's glove. I think there might have been a foul tip as Alex Shoemaker had to double check to make sure that Olson held on to it. So first strikeout for Austin Oblas. We have 2 away. Let's make this trip around the Expedition League quick. From Dickinson, the Badlands Big Sticks lead the Canyon County Spuds 4-0 in the bottom of the 5th. The Casper Horseheads, after dropping 2 to Fremont, are beating the Hastings Sodbusters from Duncan Field in the bottom of the 6th. The Sodbusters drop 2 against the Sunfish. A foul ball into the chest of Will Olson makes it an 0-2 count to Trey Nichols. 0-1 count. So the Horseheads and the Sodbusters, who have each lost their past 2 to the 2 teams on the field right now, it's a 6-5 Horseheads lead in the bottom of the 6th. The Western Nebraska Pioneers in the bottom of the 4th lead the Source Valley Saberdogs 7-2. A nasty curve is hung in there for a strike. It's 0-2 to Trey Nichols with a runner on first in the top of the 8th. The Spearfish Sasquatch and the Mining City Tommyknockers are tied at 4 in the bottom of the 4th from Black Hills Energy Stadium. And the Wheat City Whiskey Jacks on a foul tip that goes in and out of Will Olson's glove to keep Trey Nichols alive. After losing the last 2 to the Trappers, the Wheat City Whiskey Jacks now lead 9-0 from Kraft Field in Grand Forks. The last two games were played in Pierre, and now a change of scenery puts the Whiskey Jacks ahead after being no-hit last night. The top of the 6th, it's 9-0. Fastball misses low and away. Oblas taps his chest as to say, that one was just on me. Nice garbage pitch there. Or waste pitch, excuse me. Not saying that was a garbage pitch. I'm just saying that was a nice one to waste. The 1-2 is rolled over to third. A diving stop by McClure at the line. He fires. What a throw. McClure gets an applause and a point from his pitcher, Oblas. That was stopped right behind third base on the dive. And what did I say? Norris McClure with an all-star caliber play there. Him and Garcia on the left side haven't let much through. It's still 3-1 in the top of the 8th. The Sunfish lead. Will Olson will lead things off for the Sioux Falls Sunfish here in the bottom of the 8th inning. From Karras Park, the sun is down, the lights are on. Chase Reynolds back on the mound for the Fremont Moo. He went 3 up, 3 down the last inning. He'll drop a breaking ball on the lower outside corner for strike 1. Olson, 1 for 3. His last at-bat had the go-ahead 2 RBI double. Takes a fastball at the chest for ball 1. It's 1-1. So the Sunfish have a 2-run lead, trying to extend upon that, add some insurance, headed into the 9th inning. The 1-1, taken on the outside corner on the slider. It's 2-1. No runs have been scored since the 5th inning. Both teams have only seen 2 pitchers as Olson mistimes that one and fouls it out of play, evening the count at 2-2. That foul ball presented by Keg Chicken. Order it, eat it, crave it, Keg Chicken. 2-2 now to Olson. The Sunfish have 2 more games against the Moo this weekend, both at 6:35 here from Karras Park. The wind and delivered, misses low, bounces off home plate to Olson. The count's now full. Whichever team, well, actually, if the Sunfish take all 3 of this series, they will have a 2-game lead against the Moo. If they're swept, the Moo will have a 4-game lead on the Sunfish. A foul out of play keeps Olson alive, and the count remains full. So the Sunfish need to win this series in order to take a lead in the Clark division. If they take 3, they have a 2-game lead. If they take 2, they'll have that 1-game lead against the Moo. Here's the payoff. Swung on and missed, but it's in and out of the glove of Trey Nichols. Actually, it's a foul tip. Must have been so soft because you couldn't hear it up here. I've got a window closed in front of me, but the window's open to my left. So the camera that you're watching this game on can see through the window. Shout out to Sean, who's been doing a great job today. The payoff to Olson, grounded over to third. Backing up is Leaper, who fires it over to first, and it'll draw E.J. Taylor off the base. Taylor, who has never let anything by him before, it looked like he's tall enough, and he's just been tossed out of the ball game. E.J. Taylor, the all-star first baseman, who usually is quite even-tempered, and he didn't even look like he was really being vocal or anything, was immediately tossed. No warning given, no nothing. And I'm not sure if it was Taylor who tossed or maybe manager Shea Bennett. Someone has been tossed from this ball game. Walker Bullington and Gannon Thompson standing just outside the Sunfish bullpen. Walker, I think he's again had some issues with this field umpire, and I think he's getting a good chuckle as whoever was just thrown out of the game is, well, I didn't think there was anything that was shown that was really deserving of that, unless Shea Bennett yelled something from the Moo dugout, which you couldn't hear up here. Bennett and this umpire have really been getting into it this game, as Shea Bennett's going to walk back to the Moo dugout, and I don't think it was E.J. Taylor who was tossed. I think it was Bennett. Bennett now stopping just to the left of the pitcher's mound, says something quick to his pitcher, and is now slowly walking off the field. He'll stop at the third baseline before quick making a turn to Alex Shoemaker to try and reason with the home plate umpire. He's slowly walking, standing just to the right of Shoemaker, and it was a close play. I thought Taylor has a 6'4" frame, and he's a great first baseman. We've seen it this entire series against the Moo all season. Coming in from right is Jack Simonson, and heading out is another player. So was it Jack Simonson who maybe got tossed? He's now talking to the umpire. It was Jack Simonson who got tossed, if I'm not mistaken, as Shea Bennett is going to stop in the third base caution box. Simonson is still yelling. He said he didn't say one word, throws his glove into the dugout, and it's Jack Simonson who's been rung out from this game, so a new right fielder. I'll quick try and figure out who that was who was running in for the Fremont Moo. Now some of the fans here at Karras Park are getting a bit vocal as well. Again, there's a lot of Moo fans in the in attendance here at Karras Park. And that's Trent Sellers, if I saw the number correctly, who is out in right field. Jack Simonson has been tossed. Simonson wasn't even a part of that play. Will Olson will reach first on the... I'll see what the actual scoring was on that. It pulled E.J. Taylor off the base, so I'm not sure if we're giving it... Nope, we're giving it a single. It was a tough play there on the throw. A good stop there by Leaper at third. He was backing up, basically got into his glove on the shallow left field grass up the line. So no outs now on the single by Will Olson. Zeph Hoffpower is now up after that entire ordeal as a breaking ball gets away from Nichols behind the plate. Olson just stays put. It's 1-0. That's out of everyone who I thought was going to get tossed in a game between the Moo and the Sunfish, I think Jack Simonson was probably lowest on my list. Slider misses away. It's 2-0. Well, that was just incredible. It was a long time before we actually figured out who was ejected. I thought it was first E.J. Taylor, who might have said something, which he showed nothing to provoke anybody. Then I thought it was Shea Bennett, who had some words with this umpire earlier. Pitch low is swung on and missed by Zeph Hoffpower. It's 2-1 now. Zeph singled back in the fourth and scored. He's 1 for 3 in this 3-1 Sunfish ball game. Bottom of the 8th inning, no outs. Simonson, who I couldn't hear from all the way up here from right field. Hoffpower fouls one off, evens the count at 2, but it was on his run in where, well, he was vocal as he could be running past the umpire. He's now sitting at a table down to our left on the grandstand by his family. Simonson again from Sioux Falls. Many of the Fremont Moo fans in attendance, most likely family members. Hoffpower chases a fastball upstairs for his second strikeout of the game. First strikeout for Chase Reynolds in this game. It's the other Sioux Falls boy, Gannon Thompson, at the plate now with 1 out, runner on first. So what began that entire ordeal was the high chopper over to Peyton Leaper over at third. He had a nice throw over to first. It brought E.J. Taylor a bit up the line as a changeup drops in just a bit high to Gannon Thompson for ball 1. But it looked like Taylor, who again 6'4", has gotten his toe on a lot of throws that have gone a bit wide, and he has shown, especially in the series against the Moo or against the Sunfish this past weekend, as Thompson chases a curveball low. It's 1-1, but I have not seen a single ball get by E.J. Taylor at first. Whether or not it's an out or not, he's a brick wall over at first. And that one he didn't let by, and he was stretching out, and he looked like he kept a toe on it. Foul out of play makes it a 1-2 count to Thompson. The field umpire said that he was up, that his toe kind of popped off. And I guess it was Jack Simonson from right field who must have made a comment or something, and, well, he was tossed immediately. No warning, nothing. I hadn't seen a warning issued all game, which is kind of suspect at that point. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Thompson doesn't chase the slider low and away. It's a 2-2 count. Will Olson still at first with 1 out. Sunfish lead by 2 in the bottom of the 8th. Andrew Garcia went 7 innings, allowing just 1 run, and that only run for the Fremont Moo came in response in the 5th inning. 3 scoreless innings for both squads as Thompson rips this one into left field for a base hit. It looked a bit harder, or sounded a bit harder off the bat, but it almost just floated over the head of Austin Baskin on the line. Back to 2 base hits this inning for the Sunfish, put 2 on with 1 out. It's Dane Frazier, who's 2 for 2 with a single and a double. He walked in the 2nd inning. Hasn't seen much action in left field today. It just had 2 fly balls to him. So 2 on, 1 out. And the Sunfish looking for some insurance headed into the 9th inning, so Austin Oblas can close this one out. First pitch to Frazier is a fastball on the outside corner for strike 1. So after the next two games on Saturday and Sunday for the Sunfish against the Moo, it's 3 days off for the entire Expedition League, except those who are making their way to Casper for the All-Star game. Frazier takes a fastball up and in. It's 1-1. And after that 3-game series, and I'll have to actually, quick take a check, because the Sunfish schedule has changed so much in the past week, actually, that sometimes you just kind of forget what the schedule looks like anymore. Slider misses away. It's 2-1. Since Sunday, so the original scheduling for the rest of the Sunfish season, after the All-Star break, the Sunfish were supposed to have 4 games here against the Hastings Sodbusters. Frazier fouls one down the right field line, hooking foul. It's 2-2. But after the schedule change on Sunday in Fremont, we found out that the Sunfish no longer play 4 games against the Sodbusters. In fact, the Sunfish don't see the Sodbusters anymore this season. It's now a 4-game series against the Sioux Valley Saber Dogs before 2 home games against the Western Nebraska Pioneers, which the Pioneers was already there as Frazier rips one high and deep to left field, but it's lined straight at Darian Morphew. Nice hit ball by Frazier, unfortunately straight to his left field counterpart, Morphew. That's the first out for Frazier of the day and the second of the bottom of the 8th inning. Sunfish still lead by 2. And with 2 runners on and 2 outs, it's Dylan Cricket Danielson. After that Western Nebraska series on the 26th and 27th, it's 2 games at Spearfish. That was all. The Nebraska series and the Spearfish series were all on the schedule. But it was the 8 remaining games against the Hastings Sodbusters that all got changed. It's now 4 against the Saber Dogs. And then it was originally supposed to be 3 games against the Western Nebraska Pioneers. Fastball runs up and in for ball 1. And so that was what we heard on Sunday. Then a day off, 3 games against Sioux Valley at Minot, and 2 to close out the season against Fremont. So that was the original, was against the Sodbusters that weekend on the road. Check swing by Dylan Cricket Danielson. He did not go. It's 2-0. And then Sunday's schedule change made the 4 games at home against Sioux Valley, and then the 3 on the road against Hastings, against the Western Nebraska Pioneers. 2 of the toughest teams in the Expedition League, mind you, but no matter as the Sunfish are up to any challenge. Well, then, about 24 hours-ish, as Cricket Danielson fans on a ball high, it's 2-1. About 24 hours-ish later, I get an email from General Manager Nick Moen that the schedule has changed again. Now, this would have marked the 3rd time the schedule for the Sunfish has changed. Again, there was supposed to be a 3-game series against the Spearfish Sasquatch early in July that turned into 2 days in Grand Forks for a 3-game series against the Wheat City Whiskey Jacks. Slider misses low and away. It's 3-1. And so then the newest schedule change put the Sunfish, after the Spearfish Sasquatch series, in 3 games in Casper. The 3-1 is grounded down the third base line, just foul. And Dylan Cricket Danielson has himself in a full count with 2 outs. And then I was also told there were rumors of the Sunfish, instead of playing Casper, going to Canyon County. So there was another schedule change before going back to Casper. That's right. There's about been like 6 schedule changes as this season has gone on. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Chase Reynolds steps off. 2 runners on, 2 outs. They'll be going on the pitch as the count is full. 3-1 Sunfish here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Reynolds sets at the chest, kicks, and delivers. Cricket Danielson lays off one high, and the bases are now loaded. 2 singles and a walk have made the bases loaded for Benito Garcia. He struck out his first time up, singled and scored off 2 stolen bases in the bottom of the 5th, and reached on a fielder's choice before being picked off to end the 6th inning.
The shortstop from Arizona Western, number 10, Benito
So for all you Sunfish fans listening at home and are curious as to what the schedule is, here's the updated schedule. After the All-Star Extravaganza, the 19th through 21st, Garcia takes a fastball high for ball one. The 22nd through the 25th will be played at Karras Park against the Sioux Valley SaberDogs. And that Monday and Tuesday following will be against the Western Nebraska Pioneers, a 2-game set from Sioux Falls. Then it's on the road for 5 games. 2 against the Spearfish Sasquatch, followed by 3 against Casper. A ball low and in makes it a 2-0 count with the bases loaded. Then that day off on August 2nd will be a travel day from Casper to Minot for then a 3-game road series against the Sioux Valley SaberDogs. Popped up, right side, E.J. Taylor backing up in foul territory. He camps underneath it and makes the catch for out number 3. The Sunfish leave the bases loaded off 2 hits. No runs, no errors. Headed into the top of the 9th inning, can the Sunfish hold on to their 3-1 lead? We'll see when Austin Oblast returns to the mound.
Now batting the third baseman from Simo, number 2, Peyton Leeper.
Peyton Leeper, who doubled and scored the only run of the game for the Moo, back in the 5th inning off the sac fly by Austin Baskin. The lefty will lead it off against Austin Oblast. Oblast in his 2nd inning of work. He hit the first batter he saw in Luke White before going 3 up, 3 down after that, trying to close this one out. First pitch, swung on and missed. Got him on the changeup. The throwback from Will Olson almost sailed over the head of Oblast, but Oblast, a tall guy, able to bring that one back down. Oblast 6'5", out of the University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley from Gunter, Texas. The righty kicks and delivers to the lefty Baskin, or Leeper, excuse me, not Baskin. I was thinking still to Austin Baskin's sac fly. Breaking ball misses away. It's 1-1. Slider cuts in and hits the inside corner for strike 2. Sunfish lead 3-1 over the Moo, trying to snap the Moo's 5-game winning streak and tie the top of the Clark Division standings. Changeup misses away. It's 2-2. We're so close to Deuces Wild as Leeper's number 2 with 2 balls, 2 strikes, but there's just no outs. The 2-2 pitch runs a bit low. It's a full count. Some updated scores from the Expedition League. The Badlands Big Sticks in the top of the 7th still lead the Canyon County Spuds 4-1 from Dickinson. And a changeup just misses off the outside part of the plate. Oh, that one's a hard one to lay off for Leeper, I bet. Just ran low as well. It'll be the lefty Dylan Sears. Sears is 1 for 3, grounding out to Andrew Garcia in the second, flying out in the sixth, singling in that fifth inning. It was bases loaded with no outs, and then the sac fly by Austin Baskin. Well, it was just a chain reaction that led to 3 up, 3 down, with only 1 run scoring. First pitch to Sears misses up and away. It looked like it almost slipped out of the hand of Oblas. 1 ball, no strikes with no outs, runner on first. This time a fastball misses low and away. Again, it's 2-0. Leaper on first is just a run that would make the game that much closer. It's Sears at the plate who represents the tying run. He foul tips a pitch into the glove of Will Olson. It's 2-1. The Hastings Sodbusters have taken the lead over the Casper Horseheads, 9-6 in the bottom of the 7th from Duncan Field. The Sabre Dogs are creeping closer to the Pioneers, 7-3. The Western Nebraska Pioneers still lead. Fastball low and away, and Oblas, he's, well, just trying to nail that lower outside corner, and he's hit it about 3 times, but I guess it's just a bit away. For home plate umpire Alex Shoemaker as he motioned outside. The 3-1 is grounded over to Norris McClure at third. He's up with it over to JT Mix. The relay to first. Not in time. Dylan Sears a bit too quick out of the box, and, well, being a lefty gets you that extra half step. So just the 5-4 fielder's choice. The Sunfish have only turned 1 double play today. With 1 out, there's still a runner on first. For the top of the order, Tyler Push. Push 2 for 4. He was picked off at first in the top of the 7th, which forced E.J. Taylor then to have 2 outs instead of just the 1 with a runner on. So 1 out. Sunfish still lead by 2. Push takes a breaking ball at the knees across the plate for strike 1. The Western Nebraska Pioneers hold off against the Sabre Dogs. The Pioneers extend their winning streak to 3, while the Sabre Dogs have their 4-game winning streak snapped. The 0-1 thrown in the dirt in front of the left-handed batter's box. Up and looking at first was Olson, but he did not throw to get Sears. Mining City Tommyknockers hold a 1-run lead from Black Hills Energy Stadium in Spearfish. 5-4 is the Tommyknockers over the Sasquatch. In the bottom of the 7th from Kraft Field, the Wheat City Whiskey Jacks still have 9, but the Trappers now have 2. The 1-1 inside almost hits Push. He turns out of the way on the 78-mile-an-hour breaking ball. 2-1. It's the Pioneers, 2 games behind the Fremont Moo. And if the Sunfish win, well, they'll be 2 games behind the Sunfish as well. The 2-1 is a high chopper over to third. McClure throws over to first. It bounces into the glove of JT Mix and was in there in time to get Dylan Sears. Sears had a nice jump. And there's a couple groans from some Moo fans in attendance, and that was a bang-bang play. Sears, like I said, a quick guy on the base pass. Doesn't steal too much, but that doesn't mean he doesn't have the speed. Another 5-4 fielder's choice as that one rolled a bit slower to McClure, and the transition wasn't as quick. So now 2 outs with Tyler Push on first. It'll be Austin Baskin who had the sac fly, the only RBI of the game for the Moo with 2 outs. Fastball hits the outside corner to the righty Baskin, 0-1. Oblas has kept the Moose scoreless. Slider misses low in the dirt. Here's the 1-1. Drilled high and deep to left field. Frazier at the warning track makes the catch on the run. Frazier, who hasn't had much action in this game, makes his 3rd catch of the game, and it's the one that is the most crucial. A hard hit ball off the bat of Baskin is straight into the glove of Dane Frazier. 9-12 your final time here in Sioux Falls, and the Sunfish snap the 5-game winning streak for the Fremont Moo and extend their winning streak to 3 with a 3-1 victory over the Fremont Moo from Sioux Falls. The winning streak for the Moo started in Game 2 of the doubleheader against the Sunfish on Sunday as well. Shea Bennett is waving the field umpire off the field as well. None of the Moo coaches were really happy with him. He'll shake the hand of Alex Shoemaker. Jack Simonson again got tossed early on in this game. Well, not early on. He got tossed in the bottom of the 8th inning, to the dismay of the Moo, as Simonson is a steady glove out there and a nice bat. But again, Simonson wouldn't have had a plate appearance there in the 9th inning. The Moo, 1 run off 6 hits, no errors. They left 3, 6, 9, 10 left on base for the Fremont Moo. The Sunfish, 3 runs off 7 hits, 1 error, and they had 9 left on base. The winning pitcher, Andrew Garcia, he improves to 6-1 on the season with his victory. And the losing pitcher today, Dawson Linder for the Fremont Moo. Garcia going 7 innings, allowing 6 hits, 1 run, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts on his way in his final appearance to the All-Star game. Dawson Linder gets the loss of 5 1/3 with 5 hits, 3 runs, 4 walks, 6 strikeouts. If I'm not mistaken, Austin Oblast will get the save on that one. Going 2 innings, allowing, Austin Oblast through 2 innings, no hits, no errors, 2 left on, no runs for Austin Oblast in his 2 innings of work. So, quick game on that one. 2 hours and 35 minutes in this contest between the Moo and the Sunfish. The Moo fall to 11-4, 31-15 on the season, while the Sunfish tie them at the top of the Clark division in the second half at 11-4 on their 3rd game straight with the win. They improved to 25-21 overall on this inaugural 2021 season. They have 2 more games the rest of this weekend, and who will come out at the top of the Clark division when it's done, we'll see. And when we have both those games on the Sunfish Radio Network and the Sunfish live stream on YouTube, 6:35 first pitch for the pair of them tomorrow and Sunday. Once again, Andrew Garcia gets his 6th win of the season, improving to 6-1. He is 2-1 against the Moo on the season, while Dawson Linder gets the loss. The Sunfish take game 1 of this 3-game series against the Moo, 3-1. 1 run off 6 hits, no errors, 10 left on base for the Sunfish. Or for the Moo, 3 runs off 7 hits, 1 error, 9 left on base for the Sunfish. On their way to tying the top of the Clark division standings, 11-4 for both of those teams. The Moo snap their 5-game winning streak, while the Sunfish improve to 3 straight. We'll see you tomorrow night on the Sunfish Radio Network and the Sunfish live stream on YouTube for Game 2 at 6:35 between the Sioux Falls Sunfish and the Fremont Moo, live from Karras Park. For everyone at the Sioux Falls Sunfish organization, I'm David Coyer. Have a good rest of your night and go fish!